Hey guys, Kinger here, bringing another video. Today's video is just going to be an update to my Frozen Banshee video that I put out. It's probably the most popular video I put out, so I wanted to update it because it's now over a month old, and I've been able to do more damage as you guys can see here. So my best has been just over 41 mil, um, and so my average though is just under 40 or just over 40, so not too big of a swing either. Just depends on resists and all that stuff. So now before I do the key, this is my key earlier today, so just wanted to show you that. I'm going to show you guys some of the masteries. Now, first things first, for skills, or for the masteries here, there's one thing I forgot to mention in the last video. If you guys do take a Lore of Steel, it can mess up your speed. Um, Now, what it will do is actually show you a fall speed, and it'll actually put it lower. It's actually higher than what it actually is. So if you guys are finding your speeds are slightly off and it's not working properly, try going one or two higher, and see if that changes it and fixes the problem. So I do know some people have had that problem. It can be because of this lower speed steel. It can be maybe you guys have one of these, like, here where you have a 30% chance of turning turn meter increase. You do not want any turn meter increases. Remember that, guys. Um, so I've changed both of my Frozen Banshees to pretty much attack and support, or yeah, attack and support. And the reason for that is that I was like, well, I'm going to try to get Master Hexer to try to go do it. The only reason why I took this is because I just didn't want to do another one with Lore Steel and fiddle around with the speed, because it's just starting to cost way too much silver to mess around with it. So with this, these two here, I don't know if you really need them. I just did them just to see what the difference was. There isn't much of a difference, so. But the big ones is going down this way to here and getting obviously your more master on those two. So, but we'll look at you guys know their skills are all maxed out. So, where I've got some of the damage increases that I've taken one of my Frozen Banshees here. One was in lifesteal just to keep her survivability. So th there is a drawback to that, but it's not like you can't do the team. Instead of you being able to hit, you could hit auto automatically and just keep going and it'll automatically work right away. But instead now you have to either go to 6 or 9 turns depending on how high your Frozen Banshee gets back up. If after on the 6th turn she gets stunned, then you have to go to the 9th turn, and that's it. That's the only drawback to taking the lower speed Frozen Banshee out of lifesteal. But as you guys can see, the gain is that you get to put more attack and all that stuff on her. So I have now put 2 cruel sets on this one, 2 accuracy, and then a broken set. So once again, I can easily get more damage out of this set if I can ever get one with that'll help, like a cruel set or attack set or even a crit damage set, which is one I should probably start trying to farm Dragon a little bit more. Or not Dragon, but what's his name? The fire guy with all the hits. I can't remember his name right off the bat right now. So I'd like to get this up to hit her attack up to 4K, and I think I could do that if I ever switch those out. Um, Her crit rate's a little low. I'd like that a little bit higher, but other than that, she's pretty good. Those are where I can improve the team even more. For this Frozen Banshee, for the faster Frozen Banshee, you can see she's in well, three, but an attack set, and then all the rest is just kind of a mishmash. Don't really have stuff that will add up to what I need her to get to, so you guys can see her stats here. So she's got way more attack, a little bit more crit chance, but a little bit less crit damage, but way more accuracy. So that's where I can lose a little bit. There's some accuracy, but for now it's all good. Roshguard I changed up slightly, I believe. I added, he has one more speed, so I can now confirm you can do 241, 242, as long as your Skull Crusher is 243 or 244. 2 speed sets, and then you got a broken set here. Once again, if I can get something that gives me either attack or a 6-piece attack set here with good crit rate and crit damage, and a little bit of speed, obviously. You guys, I can get even more damage out of him. I'm trying to go for more attack on him because I want him to hit harder on his basic, which is the one he hits most often with. But you can get his HP up for his A2. Um, the speed sets are a little high. I wouldn't say they're extremely. I mean, it's 2 hits on these. I do have better speed sets, but I have them on my Arbiter for Arena. But overall, it's not uh, really out there. That this is very, I think, obtainable team. This is probably the hardest piece to get, which would be your speed here, but then you just need more speed on your chest piece if that's the case. My and then you could also always get more speed here. But I hit 3 on attack, which is a very good banner for him. So here's his overall stats. Obviously, I'd like a little bit more crit chance, a little bit more attack. Uh, I think I can get that to 4,000 with the broken sets I have. I don't care about any of the rest of the stats other than the crit chance, crit damage, attack, and if you're wanting your A2 to hit harder, obviously your HP. So that's Roshguard. I still use Ryzen. I've fiddled around with him a lot. He's probably the one that's easiest to move around stuff on, and that's because other than the banshees, it doesn't matter what he's wearing as long as he's going 195 or 196, as you see here. So it doesn't change. You don't want to fiddle around with the speed too much, guys. Try to keep it within 1 of what I initially said. So I initially said 243 for your Skull Crusher, which also can be on affinity now. I can confirm. When you hit affinity, you can use a War Master and put it at 243. There is a trick to that, and you guys can check my War Master video out for that. But that's how guys can get into when you get into the affinity parts, not the void. Um, 241, 242 for your tower. 195, 196 for your first attacker, defense down, whatever. Usually you wanted somebody who could do defense down. That's why I put Razin in. And unfortunately, I got a second Razin, so I don't know what I'm going to do with the second Razin, but you know, according to Plarium, they're going to have something to do for it, so whatever. Your fourth person, usually either a poisoner or very hard defense, or uh, a hard hitter, I mean, will be 193, 194 you can go up to. And your last person, either a buff extender or another poisoner, is 191. You can get it to 192, I do believe. So, and that's about it. So for Razin, not much has changed. I've been just messing around with it. I'd like to get that up to 4,500. His defense, you can see his speed. Obviously, a little bit more crit chance. Could always use more crit damage. His accuracy slightly low, but it hasn't affected it too bad yet. So because I do put Frozen Banshee in as my lead right now, and her lead aura is more accuracy, I believe 35. So he goes up to 245. So sorry, didn't mean to hit that. So with Razin, not much has changed. But you can see 3 set bonuses here. So if I can get some better sets, like, you know, here, if I can find an accuracy with defense and a good speed, like this is actually like ideal for a defensive chess piece for Razin. It's just I wish this was 60% instead of 50, and and obviously legendary instead of rare, but for now that's good enough. So rings, I know I didn't show you guys the other ones, but that's pretty much uh, I showed you his. His is just attack all the way and crit damage for a neck piece. The Banshees are attack, crit damage, and accuracy. So, and Skull Crusher, I put him in the Cruel set, and that was because I was running into a problem where he wasn't gaining enough life to trigger the boss to slam him instead of the other guys. So the Cruel set just adds a little bit more HP to him, so that if he doesn't hit one of his Roar Master procs, which actually does happen, he will, around turn 25 to 35, he could possibly die just because of bad RNG. So that's why I have a Cruel set on him. If you guys are finding that around that turn times is when he's losing all his health, because the boss is hitting him so hard, but he's not gaining health back up. That's usually why. If the clan boss all of a sudden targets somebody else, it's because he's not gaining enough health back. Try throwing a cruel scent on him, or if you don't have a good cruel set to get you that speed, but you do have the life steal set, let's just say, try that. But so masteries are pretty much. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the masteries here, so I'll do that in a second. If you didn't see my previous video, the only thing that's really important for him is the cooldown has to be done. Uh, and I'll show you guys his Rosh guards right away too. But this is it here. I'd love to get more crit damage on him. Defense a little bit higher, but I mean, this is the one guy that's hard to move things around for me because so many guys need speed sets, and I don't like keep stealing off of others because then it makes my arena team worse and worse and worse. So. Other than that, not much. He has defense, no HP, crit damage, and defense because he doesn't need accuracy. I think the only reason why I did this is I actually don't have a good defensive ring. So, as you can tell, I don't have tons. I should actually farm Spider too, but oh well. For Roshguard, I forgot to mention, you do need to have this completely booked for this team to work. Otherwise, it doesn't work. If you can, just for a little bit of extra damage, 10% more is great, but I don't want to take the chance and get this. Try not to get this, because that means he's going to be using it more often, and he's always taking up a debuff spot, which really sucks, because these debuffs cannot be resisted. So, um, Razin, it doesn't really matter what he has. He's not the. You just need a defense down. Tayrell, Sepulcher, which Sepulcher works really well with this team if you have her, because then she at least does affinity. She works way better for affinity. I wish I get her, but oh well, I don't have her. So that's the teams, guys. We'll go into the clan boss, and I will show you the team. So I'm not gonna bore you with uh, the whole thing, but I'm going to show you how I start up. So obviously I do my counterattack and my shield, and then I always do decrease defense and weaken, poison sensitivity, and boom. Okay, so that's just the turn one. Now we will just do A1s here for turn two. You can see Roshguard actually hits pretty good for 63k, but that's with the defense down on weekend, so. Um, the Banshees are hitting nice and hard if they actually crit. So his A2 actually does a nice amount of damage. So, but I just hate it that he takes up a debuff spot. So it's very, very, very annoying. So he will not. Skull Crusher will not get a second turn before the clan boss goes. So you use it now, despite the fact that she's gonna go and Roshguard's gonna go. So it actually this is just everybody's starting to get in line. This is why these are the two turns where people will take damage, so you just got to prepare for that. So if you're noticing your banshees or your two of your attackers are taking a little bit more damage, then um, you just got to go and make sure that you give them a little bit more HP to sustain. So or make sure if you haven't taken them the soul drinker or life drinker, whatever it is, that they have that so that they are gaining health whenever they're below 50%. Now, uh, we're now before the AoEs. Roshgar is not going to get another turn, even though despite the fact that this Banshee is going to go afterwards and lose it next round. It doesn't matter. This is the setup phase once again. She's the one who will take the most damage. She's the slowest, I do believe, at 191. So she's the one that you got to worry about. So whoever's your 191 character is the one you got to wonder about. I think I forgot to do Roshguard's or Razin's defense down on weekend, or did it just? Oh yeah, it just didn't. He just didn't get the defense down. Oh well, it happens. So if she can't get back up to 50% here, what's going to happen is that she'll be the target here, and then we got to keep manualing it for another 3 more turns. If she can get back up, then we don't have to worry about it. So and we'll see here. I doubt that she will though. No, she's gonna get hit next, so she'll be fine. She has enough HP, and Skull Crusher takes a bit of the damage. So since she got stunned, this is the one of the uh, things that I was telling you about. Now we're going up to turn 9 at least. So, da, da, da. And the good thing about getting was it sniper or whatever it is, the one where it increases the debuffs, has a chance to increase the debuff turn meter by 1 on the clan boss here, is that now even under normal circumstances, because she was stunned, I wouldn't have had poison sensitivity on her or on the clan boss. So what now ends up happening is that I ended up getting more poisons because of that extended debuff. That's just RNG chance. That just gives you a little bit more extra damage. So um, okay, no poison sensitivity. Boom. Okay, so since there is 10 buffs, I'm gonna use this just to get it out of the way so that he can't get anything on there. Let's do that. All right, right away we're gonna be hitting auto, but it'll be after the stun and Razin goes. And the reason for that is I don't know if Razin will do uh his weaken and defense down first, or if he will do his try to take away turn meter. So just to make sure, I'd rather do it like this and then hit auto. And this is the team now. So the team takes about, I don't know, 15 minutes to finish, which is very long, and that's just because of the counterattacks. Um, the animations they're pretty long too, so because I mean, 3 of the people run up to the clan boss to hit them. So, uh, like I was saying, you can use War Master on this team now, but it is less damage because obviously you don't have the counterattack anymore because War Master can take over Skull Crusher's spot. But I was just building that just to show people that you don't need to have a counter attacker like Skull Crusher in it. Um, that's for the people who don't have a counter attacker, unfortunately. So I was able to, with that War Master on a Void Affinity, do 33 mil. So it is viable. It is unfortunately still 3 keys, but at least it's 3 keys. I mean, uh, it's not 4 keys or anything like that. Affinity, you do way less, so you do around 24, 25 mil. I still am fiddling around with it. We're still trying to get back to where we were. We had some big heavy hitters leave our clan, unfortunately, so we're just waiting around for some of our guys who are nightmare hitters to be able to start hitting ultra nightmare. So hopefully we'll be able to start downing the uh, ultimate nightmare clan boss soon. So um, other than that, there isn't much to talk about. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to just cut it in right before the clan boss hits 50 so you guys can see where I'm at, and this way you guys get an idea and you can see the screenshot. So yeah, I wasn't paying attention to stop it, but so this is one of the low ones. Um, but overall, I mean, it's still higher than what I was showing you guys before. So I do have a screenshot somewhere over here. Let me just see if I can pull it up. Nope, not that one. Second here. And we're going to show you guys. So here it is. You guys can see this is just below. I had a better one on my phone, but I can't pull off the screen capture for some reason. But anyways, so this is just one of the ones that I've done. Um, but you guys can see the difference. There's about a million difference on my first Frozen Banshee. The second one did about the same, just slightly less. Razin actually did more than my personal best. But then where the difference is that my Roshguard and my Skull Crusher probably did about 1.5 mil less. So I'm not sure why that's so much, but it's just RNG. You guys know how it sometimes goes with that. So I just wanted to give you guys an update video on it. So hopefully this works for you guys. I know there was a lot of questions on it. So once again, just stated at the end here, this Frozen Banshee here is going, I think, 193. You'll want this person in this slot going 191. The person here for whoever's your defense down or weaken or whatever, like a Venus. Draco would be awesome, but you know, if you have Draco, that would be here as 195. Roshgar's going 241, 242, somewhere in there. And Skullcrusher's going 243, 244, depending on what you guys can get to. So I hope this video is helpful, guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.